Jake is with us in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Jake. How are you?
Doing well, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So about a year ago, me and my wife, we had some stupid we still had to get out of our system. We'd been married for about 20 minutes and, of course, had to buy a house. And we didn't have a whole lot of money for it, so we didn't put 20% down. We put closer to 5% down. And now we have a job offer that's about 50, 60 miles away. So we're going to be moving out of that house, and I'm wondering, should we, because I've kind of been interested in real estate and running a rental property business, because this is in a college town, should I still kind of keep this house since we might be upside down if we tried to sell it with all the fees included, or should I just try and throw as much money at it as I can to be able to sell it and profit a little bit?
Yeah, well, it's not profit. It's just a matter of whether you write a check when you sell it is all. So get with one of our real estate ELPs at RamseySolutions.com. Find out what your reality is. This market is so hot. My guess is you're going to get out of it. That's my guess. And here's the thing. If you were living 50 miles away and working a new job, you would not call me up and say, hey, Dave, I want to buy a house 50 miles away with nothing down. Leverage it all the way up to as much on it as it's worth, which means the rent is barely, if at all, going to cover the payment. And so I really want to take on this liability 50 miles away. Nothing down, by the way. You wouldn't do that. That's effectively what you got here. House has got no equity in it, and by the time you rent it, you're barely going to cover the payment, and by the time it's vacant a time or two, and then the heat and air burps on you, you're going to have a loss for the year. This thing is a problem. It is not a blessing.
And I just heard the other day that maybe today, that they reinstated the mask mandate in California and some place. Like, you're one COVID away, you're one uptick in numbers, et cetera, for colleges going back online, and suddenly this thing that feels like it's a surefire bet in this college town not being so surefire anymore. The guys I know with college real estate, and it's admittedly not a lot, they're getting out just because it's so uncertain.
Yeah. You don't know if the kids are ever going to go back in that classroom again, or if they are, it's going to be an unstable and volatile situation at best. So in and out, depending on who's panicking where and where we're going to overreact again. But anyway, that's just a sidebar.
Do you have a I wrote a check one time to get out of a house. I think I took $4,500 or something to closing. And that next 18 months, we ended up paying off 6 figures of student loan debt. But it was a painful check. It was hard to write, but it was what was right for an upcoming season that ended up freeing us forever. Is it ever okay? I felt good about writing that check, even though I didn't feel good about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, no, it was the right thing to do.
Right.
So, I mean, if you lost $450 a month for 10 months, you'd have broke even, but it's not going to be that bad probably.
Right.
But you're probably going to lose that much on a house in a year if you're fully leveraged on it. And then we know you're fully leveraged because you didn't make any money above the mortgage. So, meaning that your payment is so stinking high because you've got the most borrowed possible on it that the rent is going to be right there at it.
Yep.
And
you put in the realtor fee and then you're stuck.
And your break even is just not there. So what you don't want to do is I'm losing $600 a year, and so I'm going to panic and write a $100,000 check.
No, yeah.
We don't want to go that far on the way. But most of the time, and here's the thing, I've always wanted to own rental real estate. You don't want to own rental real estate that you owe as much on it as it's worth, because it does not make money.
Right.
And this is not fun. This is going through all the hassles of real estate and making no money. That's rental real estate that's fully leveraged. There's no fun in here anyway. Oh, well, 30 years from now, the renter will have paid it out. Bull crap. That's not how this works.